Hello dear learners, I am Professor M. Masum Raza from Department of Library Information Science, AMU Aligarh. In the previous lecture, I told you about total quality management. I told you the basic definition of it, what T stands for, what quality stands for, and what M stands for. Means what the T is, what Q is, and what M is. And even I told you about the principles of total quality management, and I told you about the advantages of total quality management along with the barriers or the impediments which are hurdles for implementing total quality management in any organization. So how to overcome? Now we know how to overcome all those things, what are the components, how we can implement it, and what all is required that we have already discussed. So in this lecture, we will discuss some of the Tqm philosophies advocated by different Tqm Gurus. So I'll be covering some of the Gurus like Walter Shewhart, Edward Deming, Joseph M. Juran. So these all are stalwarts of total quality management. So we will try to understand what their philosophies were and how they were relevant during the time and what it has resulted, what change it has resulted in the quality, the concept of quality. So coming to Walter Shewhart, so you can see what is significant contribution. I'll just divide into three parts. Then grandfather of quality control and plan to do and check act, PDCA, that is plan, do, check and act. So a brief history of the Walter Shewhart, a statistician basically at Bell Labs from 1891 to 1967, regarded as the founder of modern quality movement. His pioneering work focused on applying statistical methods to quality control, laying the groundwork for many of the quality management principles used today. During 1920s and 1930s, Shewhart made significant contribution to quality management, which were documented in his book Economic Control of Quality of Manufactured Product, that was published in 1931, and a statistical method from the viewpoint of quality control, published in 1939. He is often referred to as the grandfather of quality control due to his profound impact on the field. Shewhart's key insight was recognizing the existence of variability in all manufacturing processes. To manage the effects of this variability, he developed what is now known as Shewhart cycle, represented by the Plan, Do, Study, Act, PDSA, or Plan, Do, Check Act, PDCA. It is PDSA or PDCA cycle, and this iterative approach involves planning a change, implementing it, observing the results, and then taking appropriate action based on the findings. One of the Shewhart's most enduring contribution is the development of quality control charts, which are used to monitor and analyze process variation. These charts help identify whether variability is random or caused by specific factor, such as unskilled workers or equipment malfunctioning. Shewhart emphasized the importance of eliminating variability to improve quality and reliability. The PDCA, that is Plan Do Check Act, or PDSA, Plan Do Study Act cycle, was indeed originally conceived by Walter Shewhart in the 1930s. Shewhart developed this cycle as a method for managing the effect of variation in manufacturing processes. Later on, Edward Deming, another influential figure in quality management, adopted and expanded upon Shewart's work. Deming emphasized the importance of PDCA cycle in his teachings on quality management and process improvement. He popularized the cycle as a fundamental tool for continuous improvement and quality control. Then coming to the next management guru, Edward Deming. So, Edward Deming is widely recognized as the father of quality control again, and he played a pivotal role in transforming the Japanese manufacturing sector after World War II, helping it become a major player in the global market. The prestigious Deming Prize, the highest award for quality in Japan, is named in his honor, reflecting his profound impact on quality management practices. The Deming Prize was established in 1951. The Deming is best known for his contributions. The contributions you can see here. The Deming chain reaction. He developed the Deming chain reaction, which illustrates how improvements in quality lead to increased productivity, lower costs, and ultimately improved market share and profitability. So, this is quite implicit. If you attempt to produce a qualitative product or a service, that will ultimately lead to enhancement of your productivity in future. It will lower down your cost, existing cost, and it will also, when you have a good quality of products and the services, you have a substantial improvement in the market share, which means you are getting a good profit from the market. So the Deming idea was to capture these factors, get the essence of these factors, and try to incorporate in all the processes, and just minimize the lengthy processes or eliminate unnecessary processes, or to just curtail the unnecessary processes so that your product and services can be produced at the lower cost with maximum efficiency. Second, the theory of profound knowledge. This is again one of the important contributions of Deming. Deming proposed the theory of profound knowledge, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of systems, variation, psychology, and epistemology in understanding and improving organizational processes. So, Deming is credited with popularizing the Plan, Do, Check, Act (PDCA) cycle, also known as Deming cycle, as a systematic method for continuous improvement. This cycle encompasses planning, executing, assessing, and adjusting processes to facilitate continuous enhancement and innovation. So, this basically involves first, that is plan. Plan means this initial phase involves studying the current situation and gathering data to understand the existing processes, systems, and performance metrics. Based on this metrics, Based on this analysis, a plan for improvement is formulated, outlining specific objectives, strategies, and action steps to achieve desired outcomes. Next is do, PDCA. So this in PDCA, D stand for do. Once the plan is developed, it is implemented in this phase. This involves executing the planned actions and putting the improvement strategies into practice. It is about taking concrete steps to implement the changes outlined in the plan and carry out the necessary activities to achieve the desired improvements. Third, C stands for check. As the implemented plan progresses, it is important to monitor and evaluate its effectiveness. The check phase involves assessing whether the objectives outlined in the plan are being met. This requires collecting and analyzing data, performance metrics, and feedback to measure progress and identify any areas for adjustment or refinement. And the last A stands for act. Based on the findings of the check phase, action is taken to make necessary adjustments and improvements. This may involve refining strategies, modifying processes, or addressing any issues or deficiencies identified during the evaluation. The goal is to continuously learn from the process and make iterative improvements to drive ongoing innovation and excellence. And the next is the 14 points. Deming introduced a new philosophy for competition based on quality and outlined in his famous 14 points. These points emphasize the importance of continuous improvement, customer focus, and employee involvement in achieving organizational excellence. So this was a philosophy of Edward Deming. So the 14 points outlined by the Edward Deming, they are like this. Number one, you can see the constancy of purpose, which means establish a commitment to continuously improve products and services, prioritizing long-term objectives over short-term gains to remain competitive and sustain employment. Number two, the new philosophy. Transform the Western management style to no longer accept delays, mistakes, or defective workmanship. Embrace a new philosophy focused on continuous improvement to halt the decline in industry. Third, cease dependence on inspection. Move away from relying solely on inspection for quality and instead integrate quality into products from the outset. Next, end lowest tender contracts. This is an Indian system that we go for the lowest quotes. So at least that should also be stopped, because this is not in conformance with the quality. The shifts from awarding contract based solely on the price to considering meaningful measures of quality along with cost. Reduce the number of suppliers, aiming to minimize the total cost, not just initial expenses. Next, improve every process. So continuously improve every process involved in planning, production, and services. Search for problems and work on all aspects of the system to increase productivity and reduce costs. Next, institute training on the job. Implement modern methods of on the job training to maximize employee skill. Adapt to changes in the material, method, product design, machinery, and techniques. Next, institute leadership, which means foster leadership aimed at helping employees perform better. Change the responsibilities of managers and supervisors to prioritize quality over quantity and ensure immediate action is taken on quality related issues. Next, drive out fear. Create an environment of effective communication and remove fear throughout the organization to enable all employees to work effectively and productively. Next, break down barriers. Encourage collaboration and teamwork between different divisions of the organization to address problems collectively. Next, eliminate exhortations. Avoid using slogans and exhortations that demand unrealistic levels of productivity without providing appropriate methods. Focus on improving the system rather than blaming the workforce. Next, eliminate arbitrary numerical targets. Replace numerical quotas and goals with supportive supervision and statistical methods for continuous improvement of quality and productivity. Next, permit pride for workmanship. Remove the barriers that prevent employees from taking pride in their work, such as annual merit rating and management by objectives. Shift the focus of managers and supervisors from quantity to quality. Then encourage education. Establish a vigorous program of education and self improvement to ensure continuous learning and competitiveness within the organization. And the last, that is top management's commitment. Ensure clear commitment from the top management to constantly improve quality and productivity. Establish a structure within top management to promote and implement these principles consistently. Philosophy given by Joseph M. Juran. I'll just briefly discuss this philosophy also. Joseph Juran is best known for several significant contributions in the field of quality management. Number one, that is Juran's trilogy. This concept comprises three essential components. Number one, quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. So, planning involves the proactive development of products and processes to meet customer needs. Quality control focuses on monitoring production activities to ensure that they adhere to the planned specifications. And quality improvement entails making changes to processes to enhance performance continuously. Number two, Quality Control Handbook. Juran's publication of the Quality Control Handbook in 1951 was groundbreaking in the quality management field. This handbook provided practitioners with practical guidance, tools, and techniques for effectively implementing quality control practices in organizations. Next, cost of quality. Juran's exploration of the cost of quality highlighted the financial implications of poor quality. He categorized quality related cost into tangible, for example, rework or scrap, and intangible, that is damage to reputation, customer dissatisfaction, etc. So basically, his categorization to quality related cost into tangible or intangible cost. Understanding these costs emphasized the importance of investing in quality improvement initiatives to reduce overall expenses and enhance competitiveness. And the next is Pareto principle. Juran emphasized the application of the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. In quality management, according to this principle, a significant portion of the quality issues, that is 80%, often originates from a smaller number of root causes, that is 20%. By identifying and addressing these critical factors, organizations can achieve significant improvement in quality and efficiency. These concepts, along with Juran's 10 steps of quality improvement, have collectively contributed to shaping the field of quality management, emphasizing the importance of proactive planning, continuous improvement, and strategic investment in quality enhancement initiatives to achieve organizational excellence. So, dear friends, we have seen, or we have just tried to understand three Tqm Gurus, their philosophies. We have tried to interpret their philosophies, how it can be practically applicable in any organization or any company. And I will try to discuss the philosophies of other Tqm Gurus in the next lecture. Thank you very much.